So let's talk about how essential oils can benefit a meditation practice. Now, first of all, let's talk a little bit about meditation. What we want to do in meditation is use the time to help us slow our brain down a little bit, right? To put a little space between our thoughts and to quiet ourselves and quiet our brain. It's like we're flexing our brain muscle too, to be able to be more in control of what's going on in our brain rather than being a servant to it, if you will. So we have different kinds of brain waves. In fact, we have 4 different kinds of brain waves. We have beta, alpha, theta, and delta. Beta is the fastest of the brain waves, and when we're in beta waves, we actually can focus really well. So this is where you want to be when you are working on balancing your checkbook. The next one down is alpha, and that's a creative brain. This is where you want to be when you want to stimulate creativity. This is where artists hang out, right? Where they do their best work. Now, it's also where an athlete might hang out. So, for example, like a basketball player standing at the free throw line. When he or she is able to create alpha waves, he or she can block out the crowd and just focus on the basket. That's the creative aspect of alpha waves. Now, the next 2, theta and delta, are more the passive relaxation. Theta is the wave we want to be in for meditation, delta for sleep. And you do a little theta and delta in both meditation and sleep, but theta is a little bit more active because you're in meditation, but it's very slow, and delta is even slower, and that's the deeper sleep. Now, essential oils can affect your brain waves. So you can affect and move yourself into beta waves when you need to focus, and you can move yourself into theta and delta waves when you want to relax. You actually can move yourself into alpha too if you're looking to step into more of a creative space. How that happens is when you breathe in the aroma, these molecules are so small they can pass through the blood-brain barrier, which is a good thing. So as you breathe it in, within seconds, it is affecting your brain. Now, here's where it gets really cool. You have different parts of your brain that are in charge of different waves. So when, for example, your prefrontal cortex is stimulated, that is in charge of conscious, focused thinking. So that one, when it's stimulated, releases beta waves. Those are those active thinking waves. Okay, so when you stimulate the prefrontal cortex, that's what's happening. Now, there are certain oils that help stimulate the prefrontal cortex, and that's because there are receptors in the prefrontal cortex that receive, right, there are receptor sites for these oils. So, for example, peppermint stimulates the prefrontal cortex, and I will tell you, I can feel it within seconds. I put it in my diffuser when I'm doing these videos to help me with my focus so that I can be right here with you and focus on what we're talking about. Now, other ones that will stimulate the prefrontal cortex are frankincense will also do it. Other mints will do it as well. Sandalwood also stimulates it. So that helps you get into that beta alpha range, that focus and that creativity. Now, to get into theta delta range, other oils such as lavender. Lavender is sort of that traditional relaxation oil that you're very familiar with. Bergamot is a good one. Cedarwood is a great one. I love cedarwood. Cedarwood is my favorite sleep oil. If you have monkey brain, this is magic. You just place a drop of it and place it. I like to place it right at the base of my spine, but maybe for you, you diffuse it or put it on your feet or put it on your pillow. Everyone's a little different. These are incredibly vibrational, so you just need to find what works for you. But I was used to be one of those people who would wake up at 4 in the morning and have monkey mind. And let me tell you, your best thoughts don't come up at 4 o'clock in the morning, let me tell you. And now I put this on before bed and I get up at 4 to go to the bathroom, come back to bed and go right back to sleep. It's amazing. And this is because it's stimulating a different part of the brain, right? And when you're stimulating a different part of your brain, your prefrontal cortex goes into the back seat. So I'm not in my thinking, hard thinking space, if you will. Now, let me also add that you get even more specific, if you will. So peppermint actually stimulates the part of your brain that brings you into analytical, of course, right here, and also positive thinking. Isn't that cool? Yeah, it helps with that. Lemon oil will help with your listening skills, so it'll deepen your ability to listen. So you can really get specific with the oils for yourself. And I will also share that setting your intention with what you want from the oil is incredibly powerful too. And that takes us into quantum physics, which I won't go into in this video, but just know I am smelling this. I am smelling peppermint and putting in my diffuser so that I can create a video that's educational, focused, to the point, concise. I set my intention, right? Now, one of the things I want you to be sure to know that it isn't the aroma, okay? So it isn't peppermint oil, if you will, that's affecting me. It's not that smell. So peppermint gum is not going to have the same effect on you. It is actually the chemical components that peppermint oil is made up of that it has the receptor sites, okay? That lands on those receptor sites in the prefrontal cortex. Not all oils are made the same. In fact, some oils have the smell, but zero of those chemical compounds. So there is absolutely nothing that's going to land on the receptor sites in the prefrontal cortex. This is so important to remember, okay? How and why you have all of the compounds, which is what you want. You want all the compounds because that's what's going to affect you positively. Is what affects that is really everything. You need to have the right seed. The soil needs to be prepared in the right way. There can be no pesticides used on the oils. In fact, if there are pesticides used on the plants, I should say, not the oils, then they are highly concentrated in the oils. You have pesticides highly concentrated in them. They have to be distilled in the right way, etc., etc. This is why I only use Young Living, okay? I know how they're prepared. I've been to the farms. I've felt the vibrational energy. It's amazing. These places are so powerful and so amazing. It's just, it's far and above anything else you can buy. Trust me. Okay. I know people, including myself, have used other oils. I didn't even know. I used other oils for years. I had no idea they were supposed to affect you in the way that they do because they weren't affecting me. And sometimes I'd even get headaches rather than helping me. So that said, Young Living also, another reason I love Young Living is they have a whole series of blends that work with us specifically to cultivate certain things. So I wanted to share with you 4 of my very favorite blends that I highly recommend using. Now, number 1 is Release. Release oil actually helps you let go of limiting beliefs. Okay, when you hold a limiting belief for long enough, it actually attaches a tag onto your DNA. It's like, this is what you do. It's part of who you are. Okay, I'm sure you've all experienced having a belief that you just can't let go of. God, I just can't lose the last 10 pounds. I can't find a mate who really loves me. I can't make enough money. I can't find a job that fully utilizes my skills. I mean, seriously, when you have decades, years and years, possibly up to decades of the same story going on, it can be hard to believe it's going to change. We'll help you change it. Okay, Release is amazing. The next one I really love is Envision. Can you kind of imagine what that is? Right? If you need to envision something a little bigger, which we all do, FYI, this one will really help. It's a great addition to meditation. Love this one. The next one is Into the Future. Into the Future is, can you see how worn out this bottle is? It's well loved. Sometimes I just hold it for the vibration. So Into the Future is this incredibly powerful blend of oils that helps you see that tomorrow will be different than today. Okay, so stick with me. When I talk to people and I say, can you see all of your dreams coming to fruition? Can you see them happening in 5 years? They're like, yes, totally can. 1 year? Yeah, maybe. 6 months? Will you be well on your way in 6 months? Maybe. 6 weeks? Yeah, I doubt it. What about next week? Definitely not. At some point in the way, we lose sight, we lose the excitement, if you will. And it's because deep down, we really do believe today will be like yesterday and tomorrow will be like today. But if that happens, it will never change. You're never going to reach your dreams within 5 years. You can't, because eventually there has to be a today that's different than yesterday. Somehow, some way, right? Bam. This one goes into almost all of my meditation blends for that reason. Okay, this one is really amazing. Then my last one, there are so many. I had to narrow it down to 4. I probably have about 20 that I like to use. Acceptance, though, is a really big one. So acceptance will help you. It's actually about accepting better things in your life. Okay, so accepting bigger, better, more awesome things into your life and receiving. So, and that one's a tricky one for many of us. So that is a really powerful oil to add to your meditation as well. All right, so I hope this helps you learn how to use essential oils with your meditation, and feel free to reach out to me if you're ready to take the next step and to join me on my Young Living journey. Then you get to join my oily community, which is a good thing. I will add the link here, and definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel. More goodness coming your way. Have a great day, everyone. I hope this helps inspire you to ignite your life, because you know what? Life is meant to be extraordinary.